And now, the Hit 20 with Scott Fox.
Okay, this weekend we are happy to welcome to the Hit 20 Countdown the boys from Hedley.
Hello.
It's the weekend.
How are you?
Great, man. Great.
Good.
Still awake.
You guys are the ones who recorded the other Hello.
The Hello.
The Hello.
Yeah. Now you got it.
Is it weird timing that you released this song Hello, which in my opinion is one of your best? I mean, I've been a fan for many years. And
Right on.
I think that this is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much.
And then the biggest song that breaks like every record worldwide comes out at the same time, called the same thing.
Isn't that cool that like at the same point of time, somewhere in the universe, there were two different people coming up with like similar concepts at the exact same time, which is great for us because it makes us feel like we're on the right wavelength. You know what I mean?
Where are you guys at right now? I mean, you've recorded the album. It's time to promote the album and then to go out on a tour.
Big time.
Tell me about the time that you guys spend together. Tell me about what you guys do in the downtime, or if you even get any at this point.
Well, we always say that, we're making a record. After that, we go straight into the rehearsal studio. After that, we're out on tour. And if we're not doing any of those things, we're probably having lunch. So, constant momentum. We've learned that after 10 years doing this, 6 records in, keep busy.
Yeah, this is 7 for you guys, right? This is the 7th album.
This is number 6.
This is the 6th
You
album.
scared me. I was like,
no.
Oh.
What'd I miss?
Did we release something?
No, the 6th album for you guys. I mean, it's been a long time.
It's been great, and it goes by fast, and I think that's because we continue to push ourselves. What's days off? You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, it's been a constant kind of period of regeneration and growth, and take a step back and try it again and do something different. We can't sit still, and I think that's the thing. So we do a tour, and the second we're done, we jump into the studio because we immediately start amassing all this material, and then we start writing, and then we start recording, and then we're like, geez, we have all these songs, we need to share them. And we only start sharing that music when we get to a point where we're like, people need to hear this.
Do you guys sit down before you begin the process and say, it's got to be different this time? We've got to do something different than the last album. Or do you strive to create different, or does it just come out that way?
It's become a real natural mechanism for us, and I think we've make a real serious point about not repeating ourselves. And, 6 albums later, it's a really important point to make because it's kind of easy. And we'll do this, and we'll write a song, and we'll stop. We'll be like, this kind of sounds like that song. And we'll be like, that's right. That's it. Throw it away.
Really?
Don't even bother. Do something different. Push yourselves, because everything's changing around us, and we're changing all the time as well. And it's so important to keep growing.
How many tracks or partial tracks would you guys say you've written that nobody will ever hear?
The unreleased and the unreleasable, we call them, the two different things. There's plenty. And I love that idea because it's such an integral part of the creative process. To write the songs that you don't like, and to follow through, and then to have it be finished and be like, yeah, it's whatever. And to be that critical is also so important. If we're just like yes-manning ourselves all the time, and we're settling, then it's not hitting us like it should. And we wait for those moments where we surprise ourselves.
This is an entirely West Coast recorded album.
Yep.
I read Vancouver and Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Why LA? Why move out of Canada to record something?
We've got a longtime collaborative partner, Brian Howes, who's a dear friend, and we've worked together for years and years and years and years, and he moved down there. So we have a bit of a Canadian compound there. As well as in LA, there's just a really rad music scene, and we've been able to really plug ourselves in down there. It's 2.5 hours from Vancouver.
Right, it's
and
real
it's super quick, and so we've been able to really diversify ourselves that way, and I think that's super important for us to be able to throw a net out. And we work with so many rad people, artists that you're familiar with, like Angeli, and just kind of characters that we've come along the way to become real great friends with. And I think that's what always adds that diversity and dynamic to our sound.
One of the great things about radio in this day and age is not only can you hear it, you can now see it as well. So if you're hearing this on the radio, go to the website and watch the interview, because the ink is stuff like I haven't seen before on you guys. This one across your knee.
Yeah, that's dude.
Tell me, that's a bear, right?
I think it's a gorilla.
Gorilla? Oh, it's a gorilla. Sorry, you needed to bend your knee.
No, I'm a bear before my Timmy's.
Okay, needles across the kneecap. I mean, what did that feel like?
It wasn't as bad as the breakup.
The what?
It wasn't as bad as the breakup.
The breakup?
Yeah.
Oh, this is about...
It was a nice instigating feeling. I was like, okay, now for some physical pain.
Gotcha.
Which was great. Nice couple.
Here's what my guy says to me. It's not going to kill you.
I have 2, and I can tell you that I had to have a friend come with me because they hurt, and they were not in sensitive spots. Kneecap, you've got your hands done.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's rough.
when do you guys? Is that
Get jobs at Costco?
Yes.
Yeah,
when are
yeah.
you guys going to start?
Well,
at Costco?
not anymore.
Not
Because the
anymore,
lineup
dude.
is
Look
crazy.
at his hands.
I don't think the most is gonna have me work for him anytime soon.
No.
Do you ever celebrate with an album with something like that, or how else do you celebrate when an
You know,
album
man,
comes
it's
out?
funny you say that because we actually put out this weird kind of font to go on the website and stuff, and we sent out these things to our fans ahead of time, all in code. So I thought about getting hello in that code.
Right.
somewhere.
I have a very champagne-themed celebration going on with the last couple of days. Also, I'm thinking of starting smoking just to quit and celebrate being quit.
Okay, what? You don't smoke now.
No, I'm quit.
You are quit.
I'm personally quit.
And that's why you can have it, because you quit.
Exactly.
How long has it been?
It's been almost a year.
Congratulations.
Cold turkey.
Major accomplishment.
Thanks.
But I want to point out something.
I was being a real idiot smoking. I mean,
Well, how much were you smoking?
Well, I mean, just typical, not a pack a day, not a pack a week, somewhere in the middle, but I sing for a living.
Well, this is true.
You idiot, Jake.
I'm looking, and again, watch this on the website if you're hearing it on the radio. Look at how white his teeth are. I mean, those are not smokers' teeth. I mean,
No,
that's
they're
clean.
not. No, I drink a lot of bleach.
Well, you got to say,
No,
right?
the champagne has an ammonia thingy in it, I think, too.
Okay.
It really just wears away the enamel.
I'm just gonna hide my piece of board.
I feel the same way. He's
Yeah.
making me self-conscious. You've got a tour coming up.
Oh, man, do we have a tour coming up.
Let's talk about that. HedleyOnline.com.
HedleyOnline.com.
Taking out Carly Rae Jepsen, Francesca Yates.
I say them the other way around, just for the real effect, but that's fine. I'm kidding.
Did you go to them?
Francesca Yates, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Did you go to them? Did they come to you?
Yeah.
How did you decide to take them out with you?
Francesco was, I think ultimately we wanted to make sure that it was a Canadian lineup.
Okay.
We're really proud Canadians, and we love to travel the world and let people know where we're from, why we're Canadian, and how we're Canadian. So that was a really important part as well. And Francesco's an incredibly talented young guy, and he's coming up, and we were maybe not incredibly talented, but those young guys coming up.
But you've been there.
We've been in that position. You know,
Right.
Bon Jovi took us on tour. Mm-hmm. And then that was that moment for us. Maybe not the same for Francesco, because sorry, dude, we're not Bon Jovi. But it was that type of moment, you know, when our first couple of arena tours, they weren't ours, but we got on the bill. And man, they were such game changers for us. So it's so important for us in the position we're in to make sure that we're paying it forward. You know what I mean? And giving back that way. And then Carly and I come from very similar backgrounds, very same kind of part of the country as well. And we've never toured together. We've played a couple shows together here and there, and we partied together a couple times. But this is an opportunity for us to like share a stage and make an evening, like a night, a tour that's something that we've never done before.
Will there be any surprises? At any point, will we see you on the stage at the same time as Francesco or
The
Carly?
exact same thing every night. No, man,
To answer your question, yeah, hell to the yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're super stoked to start like getting collaborative nice. We've got like 3 months to begin rehearsing, and geez, not that we really rehearse. Not that when you practice as much as we need to put the time into like putting a show together. We got 6 albums worth of material,
Right.
and that's exciting because as a band who are fans of music and performers that play all the hits, not just the new stuff and take off. That when you play those songs that someone you first fell in love with a band over that song, when you hear it, you're like, I'm so glad they played this like deep cut because this is that song that like killed me. We want to be those dudes, so we make it a long ass show because we put all the bells and whistles into it.
I'll do the math roughly off the top of my head. It's got to be at least 60 different songs that you guys have to choose from and get it down to about 18 for a show.
18, 20, 25. We're looking at like 2 hours just us. And that's like a stretch, not including what we do with Francesco and Carly. So we've really kind of set ourselves up for like some extreme fun. Not to mention, musically, this album, Hello, for us, was an adventure in a lot of ways because we, in so many ways, push ourselves musically to like introduce new synths, introduce new instruments, things that we've never used before. So all of a sudden we have kind of painted ourselves into this musical corner where we're like, oh, now we've got to play this live, which is a great exercise in pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones.
Well, then I'll just ask you directly. Will you guys sing Call Me Maybe?
God, I want to sing it every night.
It gets stuck in your head,
I
man.
want to sing it every night.
Carly's great.
The last hole in one I had at mini golf was to that song.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was very appropriate.
You mentioned you're proud Canadians. We just went through a very contentious election. Your thoughts on the new Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau?
You know, it was really cool to watch the 23rd Prime Minister be sworn in, but I think it would have been more fun to watch the 22nd Prime Minister sworn out.
Oh, you think we should have an exit ceremony?
Wouldn't that be great? Just everybody standing with their middle finger up or something to that effect. To be honest, as a Canadian, as a voter, and having a voting population unprecedented and for a number of years now, the amount of people that showed up to the polls was indicative of the fact that us as Canadians are proud of our democratic country and democracy works. And the fact that we are able to use an infrastructure like democracy to change the status quo in our country, for enough people to come together and say, we need to make a difference, we need a change, and to enact that change is just representative of the things that we're proud of as Canadians, the fact that we're democratic and the fact that we have a voice as a united group.
Very well said. If you were ever to get elected yourself, what position would you want in cabinet?
Oh, Minister of Smokes.
It's amazing we don't have one of those.
Tobacco and firearms.
Guns and shooting. Minister of Smokes and shooting.
Despite all the rehearsals coming up that you have to do, and you've obviously got to promote the album, Hello is fabulous.
Thank you.
How are you going to celebrate the holidays? Because they're just around the corner.
You know, and I'm not speaking for both of us, but personally, for me, I love my family and my friends so much, and I love just kind of like disappearing a little bit from the mainstream, off the waves, and just kind of plugging myself into my home scene with my close friends and my close family, and just spending that time together, because we've missed a lot of barbecues and birthdays over the years. So it's not that you try to compensate, but we've certainly learned to make the most of that time and to never take it for granted.
And to speak for myself, food, and more food.
Right.
Also smokes and shooting.
A Vancouver Christmas. That's great.
Yeah.
The best part of the album, or the best song on the album, sorry. If you could tell us what your personal favorite is. Maybe one that someone's going to download a track here, download a track there. We'd like them to get the whole album because I think it's worth every penny. What one track should they look out for?
Can I go first?
Go.
Okay, I got two personal favorites, and only because they're both wildly personal tracks. One's called Back to Basics, and it features voicemails of people really close to me in my life. Just throughout the song, weaved throughout a sentiment of just a kind of acknowledging the important parts of my life. We travel a lot, we're away from home a lot. So I do miss my homies a lot, and I do miss those places that bring me back to like my roots, and that's so important for us. And I think we're proud of the fact that we're grounded as we are in where we're from and who we are, and we're only like that, I think, and we owe that to the people in our lives. So that Back to the Basics is a song for me that's really personal in that regard. And then there's a song called Can't Slow Down, which is another kind of like rip your chest open a little bit and get kind of vulnerable with everybody else and just myself, and to like say the things I say to myself in that song. I play that song still or now, and I'm kind of like, oh geez, Jake, get your act together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And that for me is a cool moment, because it's kind of scary to be that open, and that song just kind of spells it out, what my life has been like, how I live, how I treat people, and I'm comfortable being that honest. So those are songs I'd really recommend.
Okay.
I guess for us as the band, Jake always pushes us and challenges us, keeps us on our toes, to do different stuff. That maybe I'm not writing words kind of thing. Definitely these songs have a different sentiment. But as the guitar player, I really like the guitar parts in Lost in Translation. There's some cool tones, and it's fun.
Okay, guys, we wish you the best of luck with this album and on the tour. I'm excited for you.
Dude.
It's been a long time coming.
Dude, thank you so much.
The sixth album, sixth tour, I believe.
Sixth album, sixth tour. Well, we've toured several times.
Right.
But sixth album, the craziest tour.
Is there any cities you're going to on this particular tour that you haven't been to yet, or that you were really looking forward to going to?
That's a good question.
I wish I could say that there was some place that we were hitting, but not yet. We're hitting a couple of our favorite places. We're starting off in St. John's, ending off in Vancouver, and we'll be coming back in the summer.
Blinding. And we're so privileged to be able to come back to some of these places and see the same faces. 10 years of doing this, and we can stand on a stage in a room in front of 15,000 people and call out fans by name, fans that have been there from the beginning. And if you're listening, you know who you are. We love you guys so much because you're the reason why we do this.
But don't worry, Aurelia, we're coming for you next.
Arriba.
Hedley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the album. Real proud of you guys.
Hello. I mean, goodbye.